Recording in progress.
The doors aren't locked, right? You good, Roseanne? I'd like to call the regular Conservation Commission Lands Inland Wetlands Agency meeting to order July 15th, 2020 at 6:33. Roll call?
Craig Palmer,
Here.
Tom Murphy. Here. Edwin Dalton. Joe Paletta.
Here.
George Tupons. Here. Luigi Cavallo, here. Pierre Moran.
We'll nominate Lou Cavallo for temporary secretary.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Can you read the ground rules?
That's there.
Oh, that's there. You can start reading.
Okay. Ground rules. Conservation Commission Inland Wetland Agency. 1. The applicant or his representatives will make his formal presentation to the commission stating the proposed regulated activities, the wetland impacts, and the alternatives which were considered by the applicant. 2. All comments, discussions, and observations shall be made through the chairman and all proper recognition by the chairman. This is necessary to ensure that only one person at a time speaks on any issue, thus making it easier for everyone to understand and for clear legal transcription. 3. All persons addressing the commission shall begin by first clearly stating their name and address for the record. If necessary, the person may be asked to spell his name for the record. 4. Following the presentation of the application, the Conservation Commission Inland Wetlands Agency will ask specific questions of the applicant. 5. After the commission has asked its questions of the applicant, I shall then allow any member of the public who wishes to speak either in favor of this application or against it to address the commission. 6. I shall then allow the applicant to respond to the comments of the members of the general public. 7. I shall then allow any members of the general public who wish to present any additional information or clarifying discussion to do so. 8. I shall then provide an opportunity for the applicant to respond to these additional remarks if he or his representative so wishes. 9. The Conservation Commission / Inland Wetlands Agency has 35 days from the date of public hearing commences to complete the public hearing. The commission may ask the applicant for a 35-day extension of public hearing period if the commission requires any additional information or wishes to schedule a site walk to observe the situation for themselves. 10. The Conservation Commission Inland Wetlands Agency has 35 days from the date when the public hearing is closed to render its decision.
Could you please read the legal notice for the public hearing?
Town of Watertown Conservation Commission Inland Wetlands Agency legal notice. The Conservation Commission Inland Wetlands Agency of the Town of Watertown will hold a public hearing at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, July 15, 2021, at the Watertown Town Hall, Council Chambers, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut, to hear and act upon the following applications. Application number 2021-18 of Alan Borghese for construction of a 8,100 square foot building, 56 parking spaces, grading and drainage improvements within Upland review area at 0 Echo Lake Road, AKA map 103, block 92, lot 5, located at the intersection of Echo Lake Road and Buckingham Street, Watertown, Connecticut. Application number 2021-20 of Tiffany Acuna for filling/grading in an inland wetland agency.
Wait. What? Yeah.
Oh,
Just to make a note, the secretary arrived at 6:38 and he's taking over. Thank you, Luigi. Application 2020, oh, you read that, 18 of Alan Borghese for the construction of an 8,100-foot square building, 56 parking spaces, grading and drainage improvements within the Upland review area at the intersection of Echo Lake Road and Buckingham Street, Watertown, Connecticut. Could the secretary just read in that letter that was submitted by Borghese? He's just gonna read that letter in.
Letter from Borghese Building and Engineering Company Incorporated dated July 6, 2021, Planning and Zoning, to the Planning and Zoning Commission, Town of Watertown, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut, 06795. Dear Musa, this letter is in response to our conservation on the proposed gasoline station at Echo Lake Road in Watertown. Please note the following. 1, we will not at this time plan on a drive-in window for coffee service. If we decide to have this coffee window service, we will request a modification of the regulations at a later date. We will, however, leave the drive access in the development for the future drive-in. 2, I discussed with the owner the typical uses of the adjacent retail spaces. He indicated that on his other facilities, he has rented space to barber shop, hairdressers, cigar shops, dry cleaners, package stores, and similar uses. I am also attaching the detention basin calculations for your records. Please note that we have revised the site plan to indicate the previous pavement area at the rear driveway behind the building and future spaces as discussed. We will see if that affects the size of the detention pond in addition to the forebay. Lastly, we have indicated the location of the larger trees, and I do not believe these trees can be preserved. Respectfully submitted, Borghese Building and Engineering Company Incorporated, Alan Borghese, Chairman.
Alan,
Mr. Chairman, I just want to mention something. Mr. Borghese, the drainage calculations were not included with this letter. Sorry.
The drainage calculations with this letter that you submitted was not included. You mentioned in your letter that the drainage calculations are included, but it wasn't in the envelope. Okay, because it wasn't in the envelope. Thank you. No problem.
Sir, can you move your map over here maybe? Because it's blocking those people from the public. I don't know if you could put it over in front of. Well, just, so we're not blocking the public.
can we get the camera to shine on it and broadcast on the TV?
Mr. Chairman, you want the public to see it?
Well, just don't, they're blocking their,
Yes, Mr. Blockman.
We have a copy.
okay, we have a. Probably at some point.
Later.
May I start?
Yes, sir.
My name is Alan Borghese. I'm a registered civil engineer with Borghese Building and Engineering Company. We were approached by the client who happens to be a company from Tennessee, believe it or not. It's coming up here to Connecticut, and they're talking about building 5 gas stations. The first one we already have approved is in Torrington, my hometown. This appears to be the second one we're working on, and then a couple of others. Basically, you said it before, but it's an 8,000 square foot building/gasoline facility. And it's on 4.5 acres plus or minus. I have this plan just to show a general concept of what you can't see it. A general concept of what we're trying to provide. There is a true wetlands on the east side of the property. There is a man-made wetlands by a drainage pipe that they put here basically staying completely out of the wetlands. All of the drainage of this site, 100% of it is going to this man-made wetlands on this side here, the southwest side. As I said, this is not a natural wetland or a significant wetland. And we have put in the protectives that are normally associated with a structure and a building of this size. But let's just talk about a few things we made. We made a field visit, I'd say 2 weeks ago. And it was a very nice day. And the commission members that attended the meeting asked me to do a couple of things, which we did. We moved the driveway to the east because there was a fire hydrant in the road. They thought it would be an acceptable move and actually provide a longer driveway run, which helped the grades coming into the site. The second thing is they said, to drive around the building, we make it a pervious surface. And since it is not a pedestrian area, and is literally just for vehicles, it actually worked quite efficiently. And then they asked me to the 5 parking places on the far east, can we just show those as future parking? And what we're trying to do here is minimize the impervious area. Another thing they asked us to do is on the west side, where our detention pond is, they asked us to have a drop pool to collect sediment and rearrange the detention basin the best we can. We were hoping, and we located after we had a meeting, 5 or 6 trees that are on the west side of the property, hoping that we could leave them. But they are in the basin and we have no choice, so we had to remove those trees. Other than that, I believe this application is relatively standard and simple. This site was approved for a restaurant. Maybe I can give some of this. For a restaurant, I'd say 10 or 15 years ago. With a similar layout, because any layout on this area has to be in that area away from the wetlands to the east and avoiding that small wetlands to the west. In those days, I don't think there was a detention pond that was required. So I have the drawings here, but they're not relevant, but it was interesting to dig them out, and the owner had them in stock, so I passed it on to your commission. Other than that, I'm here really to answer questions that you might have about the facility.
Any of the members have any questions on this?
Just have a question on the driveway entrance that when we met on the field trip.
This one?
Yeah, that one over there, that now you're saying that whatever we lose as wetlands, you're gonna create on the other side, am I correct?
We took a small piece of wetlands here and restored it to a much larger piece of wetlands just below it, to the south of it.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay,
And
another
we
question.
have some wetlands species.
Right. And
vegetation.
then whatever wetlands you got on this side, you says that crosses the driveway from 262 and, you know, the one, all the wetland, the existing wetlands, so those, yeah, where are they gonna drain those? Yeah, all the existing wetland that are on that side.
Yeah, as we discussed in the field, there's
Yeah.
a small piece of wetland we want here to shift the driveway over. And we put a retaining wall there
Right, to protect it,
further
okay.
than necessary.
Any other members from the commission? Musi, do you have any questions or points?
Mr. Chairman, I have like a few comments. I just want to add this, that you did a good job with all those recommendations that we made on the sidewalk. You incorporated into the plans. Just for the commission information, they did provide pervious block pavers for the driveway behind the building. And they are going to provide 950 square feet of wetland mitigation area because they are filling a small wetland, which is this kind of mitigate that. Also, they added a 4-way to the detention pond as we requested on the sidewalk. And that they located the trees on the site plan before it wasn't there, but unfortunately they cannot keep it. One question that I have is the 5 future parking spaces. You are not going to build them now, and then in future you will build?
The 5, there's 2 things we're talking about.
The 5,
Drive-in window?
the 5 future parking spaces
Yes.
that you put future.
Yes.
Does that mean that you don't need it now, and then you will build it in future, or?
My opinion and the owner's opinion is we will never need those parking places. We put those
Okay,
It was merely an attempt to better meet the regulations.
okay.
So
In
they can
case-
be, they can be removed.
Yes, that can be removed, and in case if you keep it and the commission decide on it, they should be pervious too.
So you'd like me to eradicate it completely off?
Actually,
Or-
if you don't need it, just get rid of it. In future, if they need more parking spaces, they can come back to the commission.
Is that where we decide
Yeah.
to put those pavers?
Great.
Will
They
it
are
work
not
for you?
going to be able to spot it.
And also, I want to make a comment that compared to what you approved before for this lot, this footprint is smaller than what was approved. Because before there was a restaurant with 156 parking spaces, now they're only providing 56 parking spaces. And also in the past, when you approved that application, there was no detention pond. Everything was just draining directly into that little wetland. Now they're providing a detention pond, that's a good improvement. There are two notes on these maps that I have questioned that if you can, sorry about that.
Mr. Should I come up there?
I'm sorry? No, I will read it for you. And I want you to change this, please. Okay, I want to see that. Okay. Under the title is Land Disturbance on the plans. Item number 4, it says disturbed area shall be limited to a maximum of 20 feet beyond the physical dimensions of the roads, driveways, utility trenches, septic systems, and areas to be graded. That 20 feet is extra. I mean, it is like a lot of area to be around the entire footprint of this to be disturbed. That's a maximum. And if you remove that, there is no need for that because there is another item in the bottom that will cover that. And I read that work within regulated areas because this lot is entirely regulated other than a small island in the middle that is upland soil. Other than that, the entire site is almost like regulated area. And there is a note that says, if work is required within a regulated wetlands, water course, or adjacent area, site disturbance shall be limited to the area absolutely necessary for construction. I think I like this note better than that maximum 20 feet, because once you allow maximum 20 feet, that the contractor will go around and disturb all that.
Mostly it wasn't intended to be that way.
Yes.
What we're trying to say is that the biggest area beyond the park area that will disturb is 20 feet, not into the wetlands, of course. Should we correct our text there? Is that what you're asking?
I think that there is no need, if you have this item that around the regulated area, because most of this lot is a regulated area anyway, that will cover that. And I don't like that 20 feet extra, maximum 20 feet, yes.
Change that to either 5 feet, okay?
It's up to the commission.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
You said 5 feet, Musa?
No, it says 20 feet, but
Oh,
5 feet is reasonable?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, if you can change that to 5 feet, it's only if you need it. If you don't need it, you don't have to. I mean, it is only.
Musa, I got one question for you. Since this is a gas station, what is the requirements for large spills and everything in the wetland? Is there any oil
There
separators?
is, yes, there is something that, actually, that's my question,
All
my
right.
next question.
So there is oil separators?
Yes, can you please explain what the V2B1 is? That water, oil water separator, yes, that unit. Can you explain that, how it works?
Well, there are several types of water purification systems. One is known as the vortex, which is owned by a company called like the Xerox of the business. When you say vortex, everybody understands it's a Xerox copy. These units tend to, let me see if I can print this for you. I believe I have it here. This is environmental 21 unit, is it we're talking about?
Yes, yes.
The way this works solids will settle out to the bottom, and then the water that rises to the top will float up and rise. And the second one has a baffle to separate out any oils. It's a double chamber. A lot of these chambers are single chambers that swirl the water from. We found this to be a more effective chamber, a double chamber, and removes and separates the oils from the discharge.
Okay.
And so that's the concept of this environmentally.
And how many of them you will install?
Sorry,
How many of them?
there's one
Just one? Because there is a table, it is kind of confusing. It is based on the impervious surface. It says that how many you need.
Yeah.
Well, they size this from an impervious surface, and that's how we get the size. And the model we selected is based on the impervious transfers that go into there. We include the impervious flow, because that water is flowing through the drainage system. But the size is dependent on the amount of water coming into the system. And that's all of the drainage of this site is going into the system.
And it says that if the impervious area is, in this case, 1.3 to 2 acres, you need 4 of them. There's a table on your plans, just above the drawing.
Impervious area, 1.3.
See, the first column is model number. I was confused with this table, what that exactly means.
Right, what model number are you proposing?
The entire site is 4.5 acres.
Sure.
Oh.
Oh. Is this the model number?
Right. Model number 3 is 4D1. Impervious acres is 0.3 to 1.3. And the pipe is 12 inch.
Yes.
Treatment flow is 1 and peak flow is 4
But
cubic feet
which
per
one
second.
is this?
Right. Which one of these are you proposing for this site?
The impervious on this site is less than 3 acres, what we really do
Okay, then it is 2 to 3 acres?
Yes.
So it's a number 6?
Oh, then it will be number 6.
What does it say on the drawing? Does it say different numbers?
I don't know, I couldn't figure out. Paul, did you pay attention to that?
Yeah.
No, Moose, I was just trying to calculate the actual impervious area, but I have the old plan from the packet here. What is the new impervious area on the new revised plan?
It
Do you
is
have-
less than 3 acres.
Right. It's like an acre and a quarter, acre.
No, 2 to 3. I'm sorry?
It does say the bottom one.
Okay,
On the drawing?
maybe I missed it.
And I probably corrected it.
Model over here, oh, here.
Model 4.
Okay,
Model 4.
model 4.
So it must be less than
It was hard to read. Okay, okay, that's good, thank you. Mr. Chairman, that,
4 is good for.
yes.
Moose, I know that's for oil
For one-
separation, but I don't know if Paul knows on these gas stations, I thought they had some way of shutting this down if there's a large spill that stops it going in the wetlands.
Yeah, I'm unaware of
They have some way
that.
of shutting it off, so it doesn't, if a gasoline tanker goes in there and something happens. I
Right.
thought there was some way of shutting this down, so it doesn't, it's not oil, it's gas.
Right, understood. I don't, Mr. Borghese can answer that.
I don't
but-
know what's required on the gas, I don't know
As far as what?
how to control a large spill of gasoline.
Well, all these tanks that we provide today are fiberglass double wall tanks. When you say spill.
No,
From
that-
the tank,
the
from the
truck,
delivery
the
truck.
delivery truck, I
Delivery truck,
don't,
that's
I don't
the
care.
thing. Literally, all of the trucks have devices to stop up any
Right.
spillage that they have. Literally every one of them.
Right. I just don't know what's required through the state or deed, I don't
It's
know.
very, very well regulated
Right.
situation here.
I think the question is that does DEP
Right, I don't
requires
know.
any special, like, construction method to prevent that from getting into the wetlands, or?
I just noticed some
Is
of
it-
those gas islands you go, they have a ditch you drive over and then another one, how you go back out, so it contains that whole, I don't know what's
Any
required.
drainage coming off of the pad for the gas
Gas.
pumping area is contained in a.
Containment, I don't know.
With drains all around it.
It's beyond me, I don't know. but-
Can you
If there's
please
some-
just check to see if there is
Yeah.
anything required by DEP?
I assume
Okay, very good. And also, Mr. Chairman, I asked
Yes, sir.
a question that Mr. Lord should provide environmental impact study, and we asked that to explain the functions and values of those wetlands. He kind of talked about it a little bit on the site, and I asked him that, can you please provide a report? And then to explain that if this development has any impact, adverse impact on those wetlands.
Any other questions from the commission?
I think I'm done, thank you.
Go ahead, Tom.
Just a
Thank you,
question
Musa.
on Paul Bonavich's memo to you, Musa, regarding, there are three items. First item is conduct, we gotta wait for that, but the second one is the proposed plannings and the stormwater control. Paul's recommending wait till August till we make a decision.
Yes,
We
you don't
get
have
what
to
we
close
need
the
tonight.
public hearing because there is other information that I'm waiting for.
Correct.
So we're gonna wait, so it's not a problem, wait until,
No, we have time, yes.
And there is a landscaping plan to replace these trees?
There is included.
Paul, do you have any questions or comments on this?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I haven't seen the drainage calculations
Okay.
that Mr. Borghese
Alright.
just submitted, so I really have to review those. It's one of my
Any other
comments from the
questions?
letter, so, yeah.
How much impervious is there? We never got that. We got 2 inches.
Please go.
You, Mr. Borghese, how much impervious area is there?
Impervious area over here?
It's on the zoning block, Alan, I believe. The zoning data?
Yeah.
No, this is the old
Yeah.
one. Yes. This is the new one.
Total impervious area is 59,897 square feet.
Between 1 and 2 acres, acre and a half. Okay, so number 4 works. Okay. Thank you. 59,000.
Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on this application? Can you come up to that microphone, ma'am? Yes, yes, ma'am. Just state your name and address, please.
Yes, I will. Patricia Good, 37 Booth Avenue, Unit 19. Most of my questions are to you. I'm sorry, I do not remember what your name is, but most of my questions are,
Right, you should address through the chair and then,
a chair, and then.
you can remove the mask if you want.
Can I? Thank you
Yeah,
very-
if you want.
Thank you very much. Okay, number one, you talk about the building is over 8,000 feet. And in that one building, there's going to be maybe probably a type of a store, like a convenience store that are in most gas stations. You might want to put a package store in there and other stores that are listed in there. And then it came up the fact that, well, this property already was approved for a restaurant. So is it fine? It's completely different to have approval for one restaurant on that property compared to everything that this application wants to use the property for. Second of all, the parking spaces that we're talking about, I want to know how many pumps are there going to be?
Yeah. How many gas pumps,
Yeah,
ma'am?
how many gas pumps?
I think it's 6. Do you know- You can answer that if you can answer it.
There are 6 gas pumps.
Okay, so 6 gas pumps on my figures, that means 12 spaces for cars, correct? So you have 12
cars
so
filling
you have,
fuel.
right, so you
Yeah.
have 12 cars up there.
Yep.
And then you're gonna have 58 spaces for,
56 car for the store.
For the
3
stores?
stores, right, that's.
for the stores, okay. So 58 plus 12, okay, Right now you have, and then maybe additional parking spots. So right now you have about 70 parking areas that people can park their cars in. 70 parking spaces up at a gas station. How do we get into the gas station? You get in through Buckingham Street, you get in through 262. How do you get into it?
Both
Echo Lake
ways.
Road extension and 262.
You're kidding me.
Ma'am, just remember, this is only the Wetlands Commission.
This-
We have no say on driveway, we don't,
Exactly.
we're working on,
I
we don't do the
understand.
zoning part.
Okay.
So that would be more of a zoning question. Because we don't decide on the
You don't-
entrances and
you don't-
gas pumps.
You don't decide on any of this. So this is just wetlands.
Just wetlands, so
This
we're
is just wetlands.
making sure that,
How the impact in.
To the wetlands.
Plan is,
But you don't think a driveways going in and out, the entrances have anything to do with wetlands?
that's what we're addressing here.
we're addressing that.
Okay,
Um,
all right. Then I guess we'll have to go to another meeting because most of these questions are.
Right. And, some of
Not-
the parking spaces, I don't know, I think are determined by zoning, by the size of the building, but I can't
You can't,
I can't answer that question, sorry.
all right.
But if you wanted to know where the entrance and exit on both sides, he's showing it right on the print over there. So maybe that's what you wanted to know.
Yeah, well, I see it now that I'm up here, but it was very difficult to see when he was standing in front of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
out onto 262.
Yep.
Whew. Okay. Lots of accidents, great. Okay, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public on this application? Any other questions from the commission? No. Yeah, read that.
We have a letter to Musa Rafi from Paul Benovich regarding Watertown Farm Service Center, 0 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut. I've just received site plans for the above referenced project dated 5/21/21 as revised to 7/8/21 by Borghese Building and Engineering Company Incorporated. The following comments are submitted for your consideration. Number one, the revised north driveway entrance, which was moved to avoid the hydrant relocation, appears acceptable. Engineered to show intersection site distances for this entrance. South entrance is on a state highway and is subject to Connecticut DOT District 4 approval. Number two, the proposed plantings at the rear of the building appear to be an acceptable alternative as mitigation for the lost wetlands due to the driveway relocation, but no report from the soil scientist has accompanied the revised plans. Number three, the stormwater control pond has been updated with a forebay as requested at the field walk on June 26th. No drainage water quality calculations were submitted with these revised plans, nor were any submitted previously to this office. Due to the missing information mentioned above, I would recommend continuing the public hearing to the August 2021 meeting. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions regarding this matter.
Should we make a motion to keep the public hearing open for another time?
Yes.
I'll make a
Second.
motion, we keep the public hearing open
Second.
till the next meeting.
Motion made and it's second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, sir. Application 2021-20 of Tiffany Akuda for the filling and grading in an inland wetland area for the installation of a swing set fence and construction of a 12 by 20 deck within a regulated area 12 Troll Lane Road, Watertown.
Legal notice. Conservation Commission Inland Wetland Agency of the Town of Watertown will hold a public hearing at 6:30 PM on Thursday, July 15th, 2021, at Watertown Town Hall Council Chambers, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut, to hear and act upon the following application. Application 2021-20 of Tiffany Acuna for filling, grading, and inland wetland area for installation of a swing set and fence and construction of a 12 by 20 deck within the regulated area at 12 Troll Lane Road, Watertown, Connecticut. Dated at this hearing, interested persons may be heard and written communications reviewed. A copy of the application is on file at the Land Use Office at Watertown Town Hall, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, Connecticut. Dated in Watertown, Connecticut, this first day of July 2021. Dated in Watertown, Connecticut, this 8th day of July 2021. Edwin Dalton, Secretary, Conservation Commission. You're up.
Tiffany Acuna and Walter Acuna and Josh Acuna, and we live at 12 Troll Lane Road, and we want to put up the swing set in our fence, and we're here for any questions.
Can the secretary read in that other, did you get that memo from Musa? It should be right there.
A memo from
This one?
oh, no, on the top, on top.
Oh, this one. This, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew I saw it. June 29th, 2021, to Musa Rafi from Paul Benovich regarding Joshua and Tiffany Acuna, 12 Troll Lane Road, Watertown. At the request of the Inland Wetlands Conservation Commission members, I computed the area of wetland disturbance on the above referenced property. Based on my measurements using the site plan prepared by Wolf Engineering for the original Inland Wetlands Conservation Commission application, I determined that the disturbed area measures 7,260 square feet. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions regarding this matter.
I had the forms too from the certified letter. Roseanne told me to bring them.
Oh, for notifying the neighbors? Right. All right. Any questions from the commission on
No,
this?
do you have those green cards?
Yeah, do you want them?
Oh, please give them to Roseanne, yes.
Can I go give those to Roseanne?
Paul, that was the total area in the wetlands and inland, that's 7,200?
That's total wetland area disturbance on the
Right.
lot. Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Side lot.
The side, yeah, the area that you saw.
So what's the percentage of that lot?
I'm not,
What's the size of it?
Well, two lots combined are like 61,856.
right,
So it's about almost 12, it's 11.
12%, yeah, roughly 12%. Yeah.
We went up there and did a,
Paul, can you show us where you came up with that? That seems like a big number.
Well, as I said, it's based on Ron Wolf's original plan.
But looking at this map, I mean, the foundation size is only about 1,000 itself. If you superimpose that over on the disturbed area, looks like the number may be a little strong.
Well, from the looks of it at the sidewalk, it looked like it was a little weak.
yeah. It's a big area.
Musa has a copy of the map that I used for the calculation. I gave it, or if you, I don't know if you brought it to the meeting or not.
The one that you highlighted,
Right, yeah.
yes, it is just the side of the building. Like if you're standing on the road looking the house, it is the side yard area. Okay,
There were pine trees planted along the roadway.
yes.
For the plan, there was also some additional trees that weren't removed or cut down there.
I didn't see any trees on the sidewalk.
Wasn't it?
I didn't see them. Not that I know.
Adjacent to the state highway?
There's like 4 or 5, 6 trees behind the trees that he's talking about.
Right, nothing in that area.
In the
There's
center
one,
area.
there's one on the
Yeah.
side we left.
Right.
I just wonder if it was calculated all the way up the street.
Mr. Tupers, can you turn on your mic? Because it's hard to hear.
Next one.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could speak to Commissioner Dupon's direct, through
Yes.
the chair.
Yes, sir.
George, if you look on the copy of the aerial that was included with the packet for the site on lot, is it 3A? I can, or, oh, 8A, excuse me, it's 30,928 square feet. So roughly a quarter of that would be 7,000, well, that's more than the, but you see if you can visualize that lot, it's about a quarter of that area was disturbed to the east of the house, existing,
Of the entire site?
pretty much. Well, not from, you see where, it's tough to see, the cleared area where the existing lawn is around the house?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Basically from the right side of the house up to the street.
Back to about the clearing limit of the lawn, which is behind the house, maybe 15, 20 feet roughly, I forget.
Okay, it's a little short of a quarter, but
Right.
closer
It's-
to a fifth or a sixth.
Right, but it's still, you know, it's a fair area that was disturbed, so.
So,
And you're showing this dashed line all the way to the tree line? where
Yeah,
those
to the
trees were
back,
planted?
right, to the back, like level with the existing lawn area, pretty much.
And to that line along the back?
Right.
It went that far back?
Yep.
We met the same that was there, the existing line, we kept that.
It's just, I drive by every day, and I didn't think that it went that far back.
all right,
We
we
kept it
Yeah.
that same line.
So I guess move to break this down in segments. Somehow we gotta figure out how we're gonna restore the wetlands. There can't be anything that, there's no activity on those wetlands. So either that's gotta be put back with some loam and wildflower mix and let it grow back to what it was. Nothing can go on in the area. It's not an upland review area, that's a wetlands area, so that's the first part that would have to be taken care of. Basically, your swing set or play set can go on the, I guess it's the left side of the house, down.
So you're saying no to our
The
request?
wetlands. go
Mr.
ahead,
Chairman,
Mr.
can I
Yes,
say
sir.
something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There are like few items on this application.
Right,
Like number one is just putting a deck in the back of the
Yeah.
property, and I don't see a problem because there will be few posts in the ground.
Right.
And that area is already disturbed during the construction
Yeah.
of the house.
right,
And I don't see a problem issuing a permit for the deck.
right.
And also the fencing requires just few posts in the ground, which I don't have a problem with that. And the swing set, if they can put it on the other side of the house, that should be okay. The only thing for you is just the wetland area, because I'm not authorized to issue permits
Right.
on the wetlands.
Right.
And that is up to you. I think I can issue a permit for the deck, for the
Yeah.
fence, and the swing set if it's on the other side.
Correct.
But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do with the wetland part of it.
Well, the deck is
That's
gonna
up
be,
to you.
the deck's gonna be raised up.
The deck is in the back of the property.
Right, but
It
it's
will be-
raised-
It will be raised, yes.
That's
There will
what-
be few posts
Right.
in the ground, yes, and I don't see a
Right.
problem.
And did we have a side, the swing sets in the upland review area, correct?
Yeah, that
The
will be,
whole-
because the other side of the
Right.
property is already lawn, they can put that there if they want.
Right, and
So
that,
what- I have a question before you go back and forth. Where our septic system is on the left side there, was
Yes.
that all previously wetlands? Was that whole property a wetland?
No.
Because I don't see how a septic system can sit in wetlands and a swing set cannot. And I talked to a few different people, like architect-wise, and they said that that should be a bigger issue than a swing set. How was that allowed and not a swing set? But that's all regarding if it is indeed wetlands. If the whole property was wetlands or just that little cutout wasn't?
well, if you're facing your house, the right side is all wetlands.
It was the left side all wetlands is what I'm asking.
By this, it's upland review area.
What does that mean?
That's not wetlands on the
But,
left side.
So my house, which is clearly wet, because we all walked through that.
Right.
And the left side, which we also know is wet, isn't wetlands. But the side to the right, that's dry, is wetlands. I'm having a hard time believing
yeah.
this.
I can
If-
answer that question.
Okay.
Mr. Acuna, when they approved the house, they approved that. That
So
was a
was it
part of the
wetlands or
application.
wasn't wetlands?
It was wetland, and they brought a lot of fill there. I think there was like 4,900 square feet of wetland that was filled
Okay.
to allow them to build a house there.
To put a
That-
septic system in wetlands.
And the house
No,
and
the
everything
septic-
else,
But you
yes.
understand my point I'm trying
Right.
to make, right? There's a septic system in wetlands.
No,
but
no, the
yet I can't put
septic,
a
the
swing
septic
set.
system is not in wetland soil. It wouldn't be approved that way.
Right.
That's not
That's
since
in the upland.
1972
There
when
was
they're.
fill brought in, which we did on that side, which is the part of the filling and grading. We added all that fill to that left side to make it even, so it wasn't a hill for the swing set, the right side.
That's the part, all that was,
I can hear you.
all that's allowed there, the problem is, all that's allowed on that property is what was disturbed.
Right.
That's it. Because it was wetlands, you have to grant someone use of their property. You have to be able to use a piece of property that you own to some extent. That's reasonable. So your house is a nice house, it's a nice sized house, and your yard is a decent size. So that was what was granted. It was trying to be two houses with two yards, two septic systems too, and that was denied. So it was, all that, the problem is the only disturbance that was allowed was done. And now it's more is disturbed.
And that's up
where
to
we-
you guys? You guys allowed the disturbance, or is that like the state of
Well,
Connecticut?
that is it's the absolute minimum that we can do, is what you have.
No, but who says the disturbance limits? Like, is that set by you gentlemen, or is it set by like the state wetlands? Who does the minimum allowance?
But this commission.
So it's you guys decide the minimum allowance?
What happened, the builder submitted an application with a site plan, and the commission went to the site, they looked at the area, and they approved the construction of that house with a septic system, with the driveway, with that limited clearance around the house, according to that map that we showed you, that there was a limit of disturbance.
Yep.
Now, after that, anything that you do extra, you have to come to this commission and get another permit for it. But unfortunately, in your case, you did some work without coming, and now the commission is involved
But
to.
we all realize I did the right thing, right? I came to the town, they gave my American Rooter the same map that states no wetlands, so they gave American Rooter, and I called them and said that that is also a problem, that they should be completely aware where wetlands are.
There's
And I
two
have the
different
email
maps,
to
though.
prove that,
You have
and then I
two
have the
different
map that they gave me back in April. So I'm confused on how it's like, oh, we should have came here. I did come here in April and got the map that doesn't say wetlands.
Where did you
And
get the
sent
map?
it- You sent Roseanne.
I wasn't.
And I have another an email copy back that's sent to my American Rooter that says no wetlands, same thing in my map. And this says Mark Ramo, town manager. So I'm confused on how I should have came here first. I did. And we spent a ton of money adding the fill for a swing set. And I did the right thing by not going to the conservative area, because I didn't want that. Because I didn't want to disrupt the brook. I did all the right things.
Well,
So I'm confused on
there's-
where the mislead is, oh, I should have came here. Yeah, I did come here first. I did.
No, you should come here first, but there's
The
other
wetland-
maps.
I didn't know there was
There's maps.
wetlands. I came to the town.
Can I explain?
Yes, sir.
I think, first of all, you wasn't in the office when you came. You called the office, talked to the secretary, and then you came back to the office. You asked for a map to show your property lines. And somebody gave you.
I said because I was doing a swing set. I need to know where my wetlands is because my construction
Can I
workers
finish first, and then
requested
you can talk? You ask for a map to show your property lines, where your property is. And always when people come to our office, we give them the final as-built that shows everything on the lot, that where the house is, where is the driveway, everything else. You never ask somebody that I want to do this, that they tell you that, oh, you need a permit to do that. You just ask for a copy of the map.
So why doesn't
Did
my
you
map
tell
have
them?
wetlands?
No,
If
did
it
you?
was from the beginning, if you all
My
knew
question
my
is,
house was wetlands, why
did
was
you
it on
tell
there?
them what you want to do?
Yes, yes.
Who did you ask?
I said that on the phone to the woman I spoke to. I don't know if you guys recorded it, but I did all the right things. That's why I'm so upset with this. I did the exactly right things. My worker, the guy who did my landscape, told me, Tiffany, call and ask these questions. I can get in trouble. Of course, I don't want to get in trouble. We're right on the main road. Got this map, right? Have my American Rooter map. Same exact map, no wetlands. So I'm confused on this map. Oh, now my whole property's wetlands. So that's a little confusing.
It's fine. The big picture though is that you guys don't want any disturbance to wetlands. You didn't take any trees out. I mean, it's basically just overgrown grass that we're just trying to mow and then.
But she indicated she brought fill in.
You
too.
you dug and filled in that area.
Right, you said you brought in fill.
We
She
brought
just said
in-
she brought in fill.
Yeah, we brought in
That's
basically
worse.
topsoil.
Like,
That's the
that's
worst-
one
that's
of
the-
the big things you shouldn't do.
So could I remove the topsoil and then just mow the lawn?
No.
And that'll put it back to exactly what it was. That's what you're asking. You want it to
Very-
be like it was before. I think you already did what you had
It
to
wasn't
do.
even supposed to be long.
Yeah.
What's that?
That
It's supposed to be
right,
left
that
as
right
is.
size line was supposed to be grass.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that's what it was before I touched it. It was basically just overgrown grass.
I have pictures of
What is it
everything.
Right, but
before we
that's
started.
not grass, it's wetland plants. Those are
Right.
different types of grasses, they're different types of soils, that's what constitutes a wetland. It's not that it's wet or dry.
Yeah,
My old house, I had a
in the
field that
big
was
picture,
perfectly
it's
dry,
just
and a
grass.
wetland,
It
right?
changes all that, changes the entire landscape, changes your neighbor's property and everything else, and that causes problems downstream from everybody, and that's the issue.
But if everybody else is willing and okay to accept the potential changes, I mean, does that make a difference?
Everyone else too.
No, there's,
Like all the people that
No, I'm just
we
like
sent
if-
these
if
letters
it's-
to all came and
No,
talked to me.
I'm talking about simply like if that's what our worry is that the potential change could mess with the neighbors' lawns and water and everything else. If they're okay with the potential risk, would that make this okay?
no.
No, that's
I'm
not
just
the risk.
trying to
The
figure
there's
out
no-
a way that works for
correct,
everybody.
no.
That's
risk
all.
of the wetland problem,
Right.
it's not risk of their lawn or something.
Right.
I'm sorry.
It's the risk of damaging any wetlands on their property. Or
Wetlands on
creating,
their property?
Yeah.
that's all we're
Right.
concerned about.
On
Wetlands
other
their
people's property?
Anywhere,
Right.
Every, all,
Well, you're worried
Well,
about-
you're on top of the hill and
Yeah,
everything goes
yeah,
down,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
so. You can't disturb the, you know,
We
myself
understand.
have no question, I have no answer about the maps and that, because I
Well,
I sat on
that's
this.
irrelevant. That's in the
All right, I
facts.
sat in this commission and I know how it was approved, and we had about 4 meetings to get this approved. So the wetlands area has to be restored with some type of grass or flowers or something. That area cannot be used. So I don't know where Musa wants you to put the fence, up by the state road or on the edge of the property between the
Well,
wetlands and,
I don't need a fence if we're not gonna be able to use the road, so I don't care about.
oh, okay, but the fence,
The
all right.
fence is irrelevant. The
Right.
fence- I don't care, as long as, if there's no grass, I don't need a fence. I just wanted a fence, because if it was grass, I'm just saying, I don't need, the purpose of the fence was that if it was gonna be grass and he was gonna be playing over there, I
Okay.
just wanted a fence to stop him from going through.
Right, no problem,
So if you're
okay.
saying no to the play set and the grass over
Yeah.
there, then I don't
Right.
care about the fence, obviously, because there was no fence
No,
before.
we're saying the play set on the other side of the house, so the downside, however you look, if you're standing in front of your house, the play set on.
left side.
Left side, correct.
Yeah, but there's no way, there's nothing that we can do to touch anything on the right side of the house. Ever. There's nothing that we can do.
Well, we're not finished here. Somehow we gotta come up with a plan if that material's gotta be moved back out of there.
Yeah.
So Musa, we're gonna have to come up with what actually has to be done to restore the wetlands.
For what, to regrow the
Yeah.
grass? that was
Yeah.
there?
pretty much, yeah.
Whatever wetland grass was in there?
Not even the grass, we put it back to the wetland status, which is different than grass.
Which what exactly?
That's you might have, we can't tell you that.
I can't, you
Well,
might.
what is wetlands?
Mr.
do you
Chairman,
know?
can I
Yes, yes, sir.
suggest
Yes.
a comment something?
Yes.
I mean, if the commission doesn't allow that to do what you are trying to do, then you can call the Northwest Conservation District and tell them that there is a area of wetland that was disturbed. We want to basically replant it. They will give you like what you can, what kind of seed you can use there. And then just let it grow and leave it there.
Can I, and Musa, we're saying the same thing, you know? I believe that it's already disturbed. I mean, why should we go in there and
Well, you need to get,
excavate?
that soil is not anywhere near wetland soil.
You know what I'm saying? You
It's gotta be
get it,
removed to put it back to wetland soil.
Whatever dirt they put in there now.
Yeah. That's,
We don't have the ability to tell them. We're gonna give them an idea, but
But
we'll
if
say,
you plant the like a wetland soil stuff in there, I mean.
it
do
won't
you
grow
think
in
you
that
make-
soil. Wetland plantings won't grow in the soil that's there.
What, you got a loom in there?
But you need to,
No.
what you need to do is get a soil science, someone like
I
Musa
think
said.
Northwest
to come up with a
Conservation
plan
District,
for
they
it,
will help
and
without
then
charge.
Come back to us, right?
They will give like how to restore the wetland, the disturbed wetlands, they will do it, yes.
The soil should revert back to its natural state over time, though. I mean, all soil will revert back to its natural state.
right, in a geological timeframe.
Right, but what's there now is nowhere near, not even close.
There's processor gravel in there.
Oh, it's gravel?
Yeah, there's all
yes.
kinds of stuff.
Oh.
It's not gonna revert back to, no.
So
If it
you
was
ha-
just,
Not in our lifetime.
if it was just loam,
No, it's
like-
not loam.
Okay.
Right, yes, after.
So I
100
think
years
the
or
suggestion of Moose is
It's a good one.
a good
Right.
one. It's probably the less what he just spoke to you about. So if you want to come back to the office and get the information, or he can give it to you from the Northwest
Yeah,
Conservation.
I have it,
There
Mr.
you are.
Chairman, if you.
All right.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to issue a permit for them to do the deck in the
Yeah.
back,
Right.
but basically you want to restore the disturbed wetland area on the right side of the house.
Right.
Okay.
Commission, leave it open so we get a plan submitted.
I'm sorry?
Should we leave the public hearing open so the
Yes,
plan gets-
that we can do that. But can I issue the permit for the deck in case if they are willing to build
Right.
it?
Well, what were you planning to put underneath the swing set?
Grass.
Oh, grass.
Yeah,
You're not putting pavers or cement or nothing?
Under a swing set?
Well, I didn't know what you were putting, no, okay. Yeah. All right, make a motion to
Continue?
continue.
I make a motion to continue the public hearing for Josh and Tina Acuna.
Second.
Motion made in second. Any questions on the
Tiffany.
motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
If you call me or stop by,
Yeah.
I will give you the information on what to do and how to do it.
Very good. Okay, good.
No, not that one, no.
Don't worry about it.
All right, we got the regular meeting of the Conservation Commission at 7:28. Did I read anything? That- Anybody from the public wishing to speak? Okay. Acceptance of minutes. Did everybody receive the regular meeting minutes, June 10th, 2021? Any questions on the minutes? Corrections or errors?
I didn't see any.
Motion carries.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from June 10th, 2021.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Old business, 1, application 2021-5 of Dennis and Rita O'Sullivan for a subdivision of a parcel of land into 2 building lots and construction of 2 single-family dwellings, associated driveways, on-site sewage disposal systems, and wells located on northwest corner of Northfield Road, Smith Pond Road, Watertown, Connecticut. I don't know if you want to read in that soil scientist report in that or no.
You don't have to.
No?
read it.
Okay.
No, you don't have to. read it.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Dennis O'Sullivan, and I'm here tonight to bring you up to date on what I've been doing to meet some of the questions, answer some of the questions that have been asked of me. I don't know if you have a memo from Usarabe, excuse me, it's called from Paul Devich, dated June 4, 2021.
You should have it in your packet.
I got a July 9th.
Yeah, that is the one.
July 9th?
July 9th.
Yeah, July 9th?
Yes.
No, this is June 4.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
have that.
There is another one from Mr. Benovich dated July 9. That is the latest.
Okay, I don't think I have that.
That's the most current one? I got it.
Was a copy sent to me or a different
Roseanne sent it to you, yes.
Sorry. Is it different, Paul, than your memo of
Off the top of my head, Dennis, I forgot what the difference is, but the main concern is still that area that Scott Stevens looked at, I guess on Monday, behind the, or downgrading the proposed septic on the Northfield lot. That was my main concern, or actually the commission's main concern. So.
Yes, but I want to get rid of the items that might be outstanding on the June 4. There were 5 items, and they had to do with specific details. And I think I resolved.
I believe, yeah, those are all, yeah, I have no issue with
The
those,
only
right.
one that's,
I believe.
I'm referring to now, let me just read 2013, the CCIWA members, and I noted, areas on the easterly lot where the soil conditions seem to indicate unflagged wetlands. It appears that situation has not been investigated, as there are no notes or wetland flags shown on the plan. What I did in order to get this, that item resolved was I hired a soil scientist. I had previously hired a soil scientist to identify the wetlands on the site, but since this question was brought up about the specifics in the area of one of the proposed building lots, I hired a soil scientist, and I don't know if you have a copy of their report to me dated July 15.
Yeah,
You have that? Do you?
Yes.
we do.
Yeah, that was submitted today, and we made copies for the commission, and we gave it to them.
Well, there's an awful lot of information on there, and let me perhaps just go over it. What he reports, and he has a sketch as part of his report, it's a sketch that shows that there's a bulb of what appears to be wetland soils that come out of the ground in the vicinity of a water main that the city of Waterbury installed way back in 1942. And you see that on that sketch. I'm now extracting a couple of nuances from the report of July 15th. On the first page, down at the bottom paragraph, the last sentence before you go to the second page reads as follows. The additional wetland areas, now those are the wetland areas that he had indicated on his sketch, contains disturbed, poorly drained, glacial till soils with a very dark brown to black saturated A horizon. Buttresses roots, some deep ruts with standing water and supported wetland vegetation. Now, if you take a look at that sketch that was included with the report, you can see that that area is right on top of the area where that water main was installed. And because of the short amount of time, July 15th, I have not had an opportunity to go out there and take a look at it or have somebody do that. But my sense is, if you look at that drawing, that area is created by the work that was done on that pipeline. Digging out in order to put a 36-inch diameter pipeline, probably 6 or 7 or 8 feet deep.
No, that's,
I'm sorry?
that's deep there.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Well, you got a pipeline that's 36 inches. You're gonna put 3 feet of cover on top of it because you don't want it to freeze if everything stops moving. So now you're 6 feet.
Okay.
Right. I think when we were out there, we really wanted to see the wetlands reflagged. I think that was our whole premise,
right.
that, and then
That
we
was
were
what we
gonna,
asked.
that's what we wanted to see. We couldn't find the flags, and there was some that were here.
Well,
It's,
Nobody told me, and I would have been out there, I would have had the people that I work for. Now, do you want me to do that? I'll certainly-
yes.
Mr.
that-
Chairman, can I
Yes,
say something?
yes, sir.
Can I say something? Paul and I, we went to the site yesterday, and actually, I got the soil report today, but we went there yesterday. I believe the area that you were concerned when you went to the site walk, that we thought that is wetland, the soil scientist is agreed with the commission that, yes, that area is wetland, and he flagged it. Now, if you go there, there is new flags that the area that we thought that it was very mushy and like a swamp area.
Right.
Can
and
you
he's
just
agreed
point
with
to
the
it on,
commission.
can you point to it on the map?
Yes, this, see, I'm sorry. This area
Thank you.
is new wetlands
Right.
that he discovered. And that was exactly the area that the commission was concerned. He's basically agreed with you that that area is wetland.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
All right, so just in the same vein, I'm just going to jump ahead of Mr. O'Sullivan on the paragraph he was reading. The last line of the paragraph says the exact wetland flag location should be surveyed and plotted onto the plans for the proposed house, which is submitted by your soil scientist. So in order for us to get an accurate idea of where it is, I think it's exactly as he has indicated, the professional has said, we've got to have these marked, which is what we've asked for.
Now, Mr. Sullivan, you should revise your plans accordingly, according to this new finding.
I've done that.
Yeah. You did it today?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I just got this.
Yeah, and we got it today too. Yes, we got it today too.
Yeah, no.
But Moose, I'm confused. Are the wetlands flagged or they're not?
Yes, they are flagged
So
now.
they're flagged now?
Yes.
So we,
No, just the new ones, I think, are flagged.
The July 15th letter from the soil scientist says it's not.
all right.
No, he flagged from A to E. If you
But he's
read
saying the
it,
exact wetland flag location should be surveyed and plotted onto the plans of the proposed
on
house.
the plan, that he already put the flags, but
Yeah,
now
they're
the
flagged.
surveyor should go there and
Okay,
take this
we don't have
location and put it on the plan. Yes.
Okay.
Right, but when we went there, we didn't see that.
It wasn't, but
We-
now it is.
We guessed.
Okay, so we didn't.
So we gotta go back and visit the site.
Which is what we asked for.
I will do is I will make sure that.
Yes, yes, moved it this way, yes.
This is the area they're talking.
Yeah, the house was here, now it is here.
If I could just ask you to hold that corner. Let me- If you notice, this bold area is right in the middle of where that pipeline went.
That doesn't make any difference, that area is wetland.
Right.
The commission doesn't care about the pipeline,
Wait
it
a
was,
minute, I'm
yes,
saying
yes.
that if they dig up soils, and they put soils, that doesn't make, just because you put those soils up on top of the ground, that doesn't make those soils wetlands.
When that happened, when they put that pipe, how many years ago?
1942.
Okay, like, maybe that became wetland after like 60 years of being saturated.
80.
Yes,
80,
or 80
82
years,
years
yes.
to be exact.
I mean, they are not disputing,
No,
but
right.
I think the soil scientists is agree with the commission that the area that they were concerned about is wetland, that's it. We don't go by to the history that when the pipe was
Right.
done, or, it is wetland soil now.
We wanna go back. when it-
I'm sure that Paul can verify, Moose, you can verify, a lot of times through these approvals, contractors are asked to remove the wetland soil, pile it away separately, do the work, and then return that soil back to
And
its
put it
original.
back,
Exactly, yeah.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so whether or not, it took place or it developed over the past 70 years is irrelevant. The soil scientist,
Right.
He found the
Designated
he
as
found the
wetland.
soil, a saturated A horizon. That's the definition of wetlands, whether
And
it's
at that time, when they put
the-
that pipe, there was
Right.
no wetland regulations,
No,
there was
right.
no wetland laws.
The commission wants to go back and see the whole site
Flag.
flagged, like we do on everything else. Okay. That's what needs, we walked this area was very wet. We're not gonna go through what we just went through on the last application. It's very wet, there's no water and sewer here. To me, this is marginal for 2 lots. My opinion, it should be 1 lot, because I'm just saying, we're not gonna go through what we just went through. This is a very wet area.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
you want me to go out and make sure all of the wetland IDs are out
And
marked?
flag, and the new ones you just came up with.
Soil scientist.
And
The soil scientist,
additionally-
right?
Additionally, you have to have it surveyed by a licensed surveyor, and he has to attest to what the surveyor puts on the map is what's actually in the field. That's a standard procedure.
Okay.
So the soil scientist should look at the surveyor's map and say, yes, that's what I marked. He should match it up with his notes so that the map that we receive is a representative description of what is clearly in the field.
Okay. Right, just make sure that's redone by a soil scientist, right? We're not confused here, right? Okay. So we need to, for an extension, Musa, correct?
No, you don't need,
No.
I'm sorry, there is a typo, it is July 17th, but actually you have until August 16th.
Okay.
Because I got a 35-day extension one time in
Right.
another 30 days, and the next meeting is August 12th, you have enough time.
All right, so I'll make a motion, we table application 2021-5 of Dennis and Rita O'Sullivan for the subdivision of parcel of land.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. It might take me longer than that to get one entity to do something and another entity to do it. No problem. What would I do then?
Well, when you
that
can
be
report
okay?
back at the next meeting. If it takes longer, you can ask for an extension.
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Application 2021-16 of Dawn Colburn for the construction of a 44 by 33 detached garage and extension of a driveway with an upland review area at 191 Charter Oak Drive.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We did come out here and do a site walk. There was some discussion about where the garage was and location. I don't know if, Musa, do you have any comments here about what we?
The only comment that I have is, I recommended on the sidewalk that can you turn the garage, like the garage faces the back of the house. You don't have to go all the way into the woods to get to the garage. If you bring the garage in closer and just turn it, your driveway will be shorter and less impact within the upland review area. And you said that that's a good idea. I don't know if you're agree to do that.
So we actually talked about that after you guys left, and it's not that we're opposed to it, but what's going to happen if we put the garage where you suggested, we have to take a lot more trees down, because where we originally want to put it now, that section, there's like 1 or 2 trees, but if I put it where you suggested, there's about 10 or 12 trees in that area that I now have to take down, pay to take down. Not only that, but the shed that is next to there, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's like a 1.5 foot foundation. And I think, I don't know this because I'm not the original owner. I'm not the one that applied for that permit to put that shed there. But like I said, that drain area that's there, I wonder if that's why he made it so thick, the foundation. And I'm just nervous about that drainage. Like, I've never gone back there when it's poured, but I don't want to.
Because it was wet, that's why they put that foundation there. But anyway, what we're saying that by putting the driveway there, you will have to cut those trees anyway.
So we're
Get
gonna
to the garage, yes.
We're gonna go around. It's like a. I wish I took a picture. It's like just like this circular area of trees. We're going to go.
This is the map.
Yeah,
Here
it
is
doesn't
a
really show the
drawing
exact
here.
trees.
Right. Yeah. I think most.
Mr. Two points, you were not there, I
Right.
want to explain to you.
Right.
If you look at that drawing, this,
Yep.
I suggested that if they bring the garage here
Yes.
and facing this way, they don't have to go all the way to there, and the driveway will be shorter, and the garage will be like here,
And I think we wanted to move it farther
further, yeah.
towards the house, out of the
house,
wetlands,
yes.
at least
Yeah.
a 50-foot
Closer to
setback.
the edge of the septic line.
Yeah.
Septic
Yeah.
line.
This was my suggestion, but I don't know if there is any, I mean, what you are saying that you have to cut these trees anyway for the driveway.
So because we'd be coming in at that angle, we wouldn't need to remove all of those trees. It could just be sort of like coming straight in and then making a sharp right. Just because the trees are in like
This face the same way.
about an area like this table in front of me. It's just, there are many more trees there. We're trying to avoid taking all these trees down.
It's up to commission. I mean.
When we looked at the spot where it's going, you're down in that depression, which is water prone. So I don't know if that was gonna get filled. Are you gonna set that foundation down? So you're gonna drive down into it?
It's a slab.
Right, but you're not gonna raise it, I mean, it was like 3 feet below your grade.
Oh, right, yeah, we're not raising, we're not filling that.
I still feel it needs to be farther from the wetlands. That whole, and we never, was there any talk about your reserve area on the septic?
Oh, I think you guys had this on file, but I do have it on my phone. My property does not have a reserve area, nor does anyone in my neighborhood. My neighbor, I asked her across the street, she doesn't have one. She built her house originally. Same what goes with the one right across the street from me. We don't have this reserve thing you're talking about. It's just my septic, like my leach field. I don't have,
Yeah, I don't know when that was required or not. When the reason, I know,
George might know. When did they start
Requiring
requiring a reserve area?
The chairman's making a very good point. I don't know how old this septic system is.
it's brand new. We had it replaced when we moved in last year.
So
Then it should have a reserve
potentially,
area.
yeah, you're not gonna have to worry about it for 30 years or so, but the next person
Right.
is, so, I mean, you should leave
the
the
reserve,
availability of a reserve area.
Yes, you need it. How long ago did you move in?
We moved in last year.
And there's no reserve area on your plan?
But this house is not new,
No, 1979.
so this is the second septic system, right?
right.
Yes, we replaced it, we made them replace it as we moved in because they're,
You already
failed.
basically used the reserve area.
Yeah,
is this distribution boxes? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
No.
there's, if you're,
Talking about
he'll tell you.
additional area of your yard that
only
can
40
be
years
used
ago
for
it's
septic
septic.
in the future, when this
Well,
septic fails,
well,
which it will.
It started.
They only last 30 to 40 years generally.
Right,
Right.
yep.
Build another one.
Right.
So if you chop off that option,
Yeah.
it could cause you problems long term.
Reselling the house. I don't know.
I think they're talking about the leaching fields.
You're right.
Right.
If
I mean, that-
something goes
yeah.
wrong with that
Right.
leaching fields, you have to have
Right, you gotta-
reserved area to
Right.
put a new system there. That is what the commission is talking about.
I see. Another reason to put it over by the
You've
shed.
probably used the original reserve
Reserve
area.
area, like.
Yes.
So you had one, now you've added the, you've taken up.
You're right.
So you need a somewhere else
Yeah.
next time.
And the soil is really wet there.
Well, that's a wet neighborhood.
Right.
If you've already been on your second set, most of them last,
But there's, I mean, I'm not gonna be here 40 or 50 years, but I think Ed was saying, the reserve area could regenerate itself and, I'm
Right.
sorry, the area where the
Yeah.
septic was just, has failed.
Right.
In 40 years, it could regenerate, they'll have new technology, and maybe you put a new septic in that area that was used 40 years ago.
but I think you really gotta think about moving the garage or either downsizing it. Because like I said, you're 25 feet from the wetlands. And everything in that garage, when you're, whatever, I don't know what you're gonna do in the garage, none of our business, but if you're cleaning or whatever, all that runs out is gonna go in the wetlands, and it's all wells in that neighborhood. There's no water and sewer in sight.
Is there a certain number you're looking for how many feet?
I don't know, what's the?
Just to make it less to the wetlands.
Wetlands.
is what
Well,
we're doing.
bring it as close to the lawn area as possible,
Yeah.
but if you have like, if there is any restrictions or any
I
problem
don't
there
know
that you can,
the zoning part.
yeah,
I
just
don't
bring
know
it
that
as
part.
close to the lawn area as possible.
Right.
You don't have to go all the way to inside the wooded area to put the garage. Just bring it closer and you don't have to cut all the trees
21 and a
and
half.
long driveway.
Yeah. I think a 50-foot setback would be
50
more,
garage.
appropriate.
You said,
Thank you.
You said 50, 50?
Yeah, you had 25, I think.
21 and a half.
They're saying that's a low area, and like anything that goes on there is going into the
okay.
wetlands.
Yeah, that's
Like I
a
said,
lot.
I don't know what you're gonna use it for, but
35.
So my
30 to
septic
35.
system ends at my house,
No,
and so there's
30 to
probably
35.
maybe 25 feet that there is no septic, so I can come further. But I'm sure they're saying I have to be 50 feet from that leach field, even at an angle.
I don't know that part.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is, it's a
No?
kind of like a tight situation. 50 feet is kind of like a little too much.
Right.
What about 35 feet? You just,
And
you
far
can
as
make
as
a,
far as to the left as you can and pull up out of that
yes,
bog.
you can make a decision that approving the location of the garage to be 35 feet from the edge of wetlands.
The other-
Now, then we will look into see where is the best place to put it.
That's,
The other question is did they install a septic system that can handle vehicular traffic?
it's, no, we're not driving over, we're not allowed to. We're gonna be,
Okay.
my septic ends at my house, so anything off to either side, it's not there. My leach field ends. So there is nothing off to either side of my house. It's only directly behind my house, my leach field.
Right.
So we're not ever gonna drive over that. My septic guy made that very clear.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I thought they were down.
No, they are in this corner.
Yeah.
I think 30 to 35 feet distance from the edge of wetland is reasonable. And I'm sure that there is enough room that you can put that garage there.
Somewhere along there, yes, because it's at an angle. I don't know what that angle is.
Then you pick the angle, doesn't matter. As long as the closest corner of the garage is 35 feet from the edge of wetlands, that's fine. Does
Okay.
that
And far
make
to the
sense?
left as possible, right?
That makes
We're-
sense? Yeah, the further the better, but at least minimum 35 feet.
Are we
So-
still talking about the garage and facing the back of the house?
I'm sorry?
The doors.
We say that the doors of the garage.
It's up to them how they want to put it, but the garage has to be minimum 35 feet
Right,
from
but if
the
they
edge of
face the
wetlands.
doors to the garage,
Yeah.
to the
And
house,
just turning it would give it another 11 feet.
the driveway would be all out of out of the area. All you're saying
Right.
is face the doors,
Back
so
of the garage.
you look out the back of your house, you're gonna see the garage
And
door.
move it towards the left.
It would get rid of half the disturbance right there, and it wouldn't bother anything.
Just turning it gets 11 feet closer,
the-
farther away
out
from
way
the
out.
wetlands. Because it's
Okay.
33 by 44, so instead of being 44 feet deep, it's only 33 feet deep.
I see what you're
So
saying.
we just turn it this way and it's
Yeah, I
11
would
more
still
feet,
wanna
so
come
you
more
already gained,
this
you're
way.
already at
More to the left.
32.
Yeah, yeah.
Paul, what do you think? You got a comment or no?
About what, Mr.
The
Chairman?
garage. I thought you wanted to say something, sorry.
No, I just,
No.
like Ned's point,
Right.
that's, yeah, turning it would pick up 11 feet
Yeah,
just there, you
just
know.
that.
Right. And this is not a small garage. We're
No.
talking, 44 by 33 is
Right.
1,000.
Is there any way of downsizing the size
like
of
the-
that
like a
garage?
house
It is
size.
a residential area.
It's like adding
We're-
another
we're
house
going to
footprint
the
on
guy
the lot.
next to us.
Huh?
He has the same size garage,
Oh, he
so.
does? Oh, all right, I don't know.
But we're not having that tall of doors. He's got these massive doors.
Yeah. Well, I think, I don't know if you gotta come back to the commission, you're gonna get a map drawn, or?
I think you can make a decision with that condition that the garage has to be
35
minimum
feet.
35 feet
And the
from the
doors
edge of
facing,
wetlands.
and the
Yes.
doors facing.
Well,
I'm sorry?
30,
And the doors
32
facing
feet
the house.
makes a lot
Face
more
it-
sense
it's up
for
to
lumber.
Well,
When
we
you
wanna
It's
get-
a metal
32
garage.
feet
It's metal.
oh, prefab?
Lumber's too expensive right now.
Make sense?
But now it
Make
makes
sense? Minimum 35 feet?
Yes, 35.
Okay. And then I can work with them to see how they can relocate.
Make that motion, that doors face the house, so, got it.
And it should be subject to standard conditions.
All right, so make a motion to approve, where are we? Application 2021-16 of Dawn Coburn for construction of a garage, a detached garage and extension of driveway within Upland Review Area at 191 Charter Oak Drive, Watertown, Connecticut, to be
Yeah.
a minimum of 35 feet from the wetlands and as far left as feasible, and subject to standard conditions.
Second.
Motion made in second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I got an emergency. I have to-
All right, can you put down the, Roseanne, that, Joe Pleto will be leaving at 7:55 for emergency.
Yeah, I got an emergency, I gotta go to Torrington. I gotta go right now.
Application 2021-19 of Victor Petrillo for existing on-site sewage disposal system repair located within the Upland Review Area at 65 Northfield Road. We went on that, that's not you, sir, is it? No, all right. We did a sidewalk and can we make a?
Yes.
I make a,
Just briefly, please listen to see what they want to do and then, yes.
No, that's not him.
yeah. I mean, the public hearing was extended, so
Oh, which one you were talking about? Oh, Borghese, yes,
Yeah.
table it, I'm sorry.
I make a motion, we table application
Yes.
2021-18 of Alan Borghese for construction of 8,100 square foot building on Echo Lake Road and Buckingham Street.
Second.
Motion made in second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. For application 2021-19 of Victor Petrillo for the existing on-site sewage disposal system repair located within the Upland Review Area, 65 Northfield Road.
Gary Giordano called that he supposed to come to the meeting, but he had a family emergency or something. He
said
couldn't
he
make
wasn't
it.
sure if he'd make it.
Yes.
He had
And he said that it's up to the commission, that you can make a decision to approve or you can table it. My
Make a-
suggestion is to make a decision
Yeah.
because it is a
Septic,
failing
yes.
Yeah, what
septic
you do.
system. They have to repair it.
Right.
And there is no other place to put it. This is the only place that they
Yeah.
can put. I think you can make a motion.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve application 2021-19 of Victor Priato for an existing on-site sewage disposal system repair located within Upland Review Area at 65 Northfield Road, Watertown, Connecticut.
Second.
Motion
Subject
made.
to standard
Subject to
conditions.
standard conditions, excuse me.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. 5, application 2021-20 of Tiffany Akuda for the filling and grading of an inland wetland area for the installation of a swing set and fence, construction of a 12 by 20 deck within a regulated area, 12 Troll Lane Road, Watertown.
Motion to table application 2021-20.
Second.
Second?
Motion's been seconded. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, motion carries. 6, notice of violation issued to the owner of 30 Jericho Road, Watertown. 7, notice of violation issued to the Watertown Fire District concerning regulated activities conducted on the district property on Judd Farm Road, Watertown.
I have nothing to report, Mr. Chairman. You can table it.
Yeah, make a motion, we table items 6, 7, and 8 as well.
Second.
Yes.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion is carried. New business application 2021-22 of Carmine Casligio for the construction for a new private road, 9 duplex age-restricted residential homes and associated driveways and parking at 470 Street, Turnpike, Watertown. How are you?
Here, we're trying to build some residential homes,
Okay.
duplexes, nine duplexes for age restricted, for some exclusive.
I didn't even look, there's up wetlands here, Musa?
There is a, Wattles Brook is going through this property.
Yeah.
And this property is kind of like sloping toward the brook.
Right.
It's not like flat.
Yeah.
And the way that they are proposing is 33,230 square feet of upland review area will be disturbed. And I have a question for the engineer because there is a water course and his measurement is from the edge of the water course, but it has to be from the top of the bank of the water course. There will be more area covered by the upland review area if they do that. And also on the alternate, he wrote that the alternative is to move the proposed access drive closer to Wattles Brook. The alternative should be something better than what you propose. I mean, why not to move it toward the other direction? That is something that the engineer should look into.
Well, I think maybe he didn't want to move it to the other location was because we were going to do this in phases.
Doesn't matter. If you look at the map, there is a lot of area behind those units. Like for these units, you don't need that much backyard. Because this land is sloping toward the brook.
Right.
The further you stay away from the brook, the better it is. I mean, the road goes like this, and if he can move it to the south side.
You're saying the road?
No, the entire development can be moved toward the south, not toward the brook. Because the commission will determine that this is a significant activity because it is more than 33,000 square feet of upland review area is disturbed. When they determine that this is a significant activity, you should propose or provide an alternative that has less impact. And the alternative will be, it's up to the commission, but my recommendation is why they don't push it away from the brook.
What we're gonna do is sidewalk, right?
Yes, do as well as sidewalk.
Right. This is all water and sewer, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. make a motion that it's a significant activity first. Yeah,
Yes, and sidewalk.
yeah.
I make a motion. Make a motion that this is a significant activity and we need a, excuse me, need a public hearing on application 2021-22 of Carmine Constiglione for construction of a new private road, 9-duplex, age-restricted residential homes and associated driveways and parking at 470 Street, Turnpike, Watertown, Connecticut.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, do you want to go and see
Yes.
Dennis O'Sullivan's property too, no?
Yes.
There will be two of
Yeah.
them.
Absolutely.
Then you want to do the Saturday before the meeting?
Yes.
Saturday
That's fine.
morning before
Yeah.
the meeting?
When is that?
The meeting is on July 12th, August 12th.
August 12th.
So it's August, I'll be okay.
That's fine.
So has this area been flagged and all that, or no?
Well, I think they are.
Okay.
We had this on the site,
So
survey.
it's 7
But I can double check.
Yeah, just make sure it's flagged and
August 7th.
or
accessible.
7?
Okay.
I'm good.
What time you decide?
Six.
9? Please.
Anytime anybody wants. The earlier the better.
9 is good?
9.
Okay.
Perfect.
We're
Make
gonna
a,
do a sidewalk?
Yes, we're gonna come out.
When, do you know when?
August 7th,
Oh, August 2nd.
9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock. We will
That's
send you a
Saturday.
notice too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're all set for now.
And do you want me to tell anything to the engineer about, providing an alternative, or should I wait?
Yes,
Yes.
actually, there will be a public hearing next month. Tell your engineer to give me a call. I will explain to him that what the commission is looking for, okay?
Okay.
Sir, can you state your name and address for the record?
Carmine Castiglione, you want my home address, or,
Yes,
265 Shadow Meadow Road, 7?
thank you. You're good.
All
All right, see you.
Thank you.
Okay, the sidewalk will be on August 7th at 9 a.m. and the public hearing will be on August 12th. And you want to go to Dennis O'Sullivan's site too?
Yes.
Okay, that will be like 9:30, 9:40 sometime?
That's fine.
We'll work from the north and go south.
Yeah.
Okay, that first?
Yes.
Yes.
The second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Now we got to table it.
Yes, sir.
Are we scheduling a public hearing that's in the record? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's significant activity automatic.
Right,
Yes.
have the date on there? Okay, so we're gonna table the application. I make a motion, we table application 2021-22.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Communications and bills. So 1, Department of the Army approved a letter regarding general print of 19 for the reconstruction of the bridge and intersection of Wilson Street, Northfield Road, and Merriman Lane, Watertown. Paul, what happened?
Well, we finally got the approval from the Corps for this bridge. I guess this started before I got here, almost
Yeah.
5 years ago, so. And now they gave us till August to start the project, but I already asked for an extension. They realized that,
Right.
you know,
So it's not this year then?
no, it doesn't. Now, they're still ironing out the easements and that. It's going to be a 2022 start, so, yeah.
How is your wetland permit? Is that still valid? I mean, just check that.
Yeah, no, we just got,
You got an extension?
It was 5 years, no?
yeah, we got that like
Yeah.
2 years ago.
No, the extension or
No, the original.
The original, okay, it's
Yeah,
2
I remember
years.
when,
Okay.
yeah, I was there, so. yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
very good.
It wasn't that long ago. I mean, we should check the date, but yeah.
Just double check.
Okay, we'll do.
Just make a motion to accept and file, right?
make a motion, we accept and file a letter from the Department of Army Corps of Engineers.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions? All in favor? All opposed? Reports from officers and committees. Chairman's report.
We got
Musa, how did, with the application of Northfield Road, with the, how was that not getting conveyed about the wetland? I don't get that. That, should be, this be in writing or something different than we're doing, or?
No, what happened, I mean,
Okay,
this
yeah.
site was flagged probably like 20 years ago.
Right, okay.
Yes, land changes, I mean, with the
No,
drainage
right.
and everything. And this new soil scientist, when he went there, he wasn't agree with the original soil scientist who flagged the wetland. He said, yeah, this area is also wetland. But he did only for one lot. The second lot, he didn't go there, and he
Right,
wrote
he
it
asked
in
him
his
to
report,
reflag
yes.
the
Now
entire
you want
property.
him to go and flag the entire.
Well, that's what I thought we discussed. That's, I didn't know
did.
where,
We asked them to
Something
have the
happened.
soil scientist
Yes.
reflag the entire property.
Yes, but he didn't do the entire property. He did
didn't
only
do it?
one lot, not the second lot. This time he has to send the soil scientist
Right.
to do the other lot too. But one positive thing that he moved the location of the house closer to the road now, and it meets the zoning setback
Okay, yeah.
requirements, but it's further away from the house.
Right.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
one lot. The other lot, it's the same.
right. And second, on, I don't know if you can report back to the commission next month about these Troll Lane Road, whatever happened there, I don't need to get into, I don't know that part, but when somebody finishes a
Can I make a
house,
suggestion?
Yes,
Because that item is still on the agenda
will
and the
wait.
public hearing is open.
yes, we'll
We
wait.
are not supposed to discuss if the applicant is not here.
I'm not discussing that I'm discussing that. So when I build my house and I come and I go to look,
Yeah.
how do I know when I go into the office, or anybody?
I think.
Forget, no, I know,
think-
but I'm just saying,
Yes.
is it stamped on the map, is there anything on there? I just never.
I don't want to go in detail
No, I
because
know,
if you,
I don't-
if
Not
you read the
any map.
original wetland permit, it explains exactly what is approved
Right,
and there is no other additional activities. It
no, I
says
know that,
yes.
but where does that permit go? So 5 years from now, I come in and I wanna check on my lot. What is, when I ask whoever's in there and they open it up, what is actually there? I'm just asking, I
Yeah.
don't,
So basically, does the
Not all maps are
Wetland-
allowed to have all that.
The wetlands are flagged on the map and
It's
they
like the
show,
wetland office.
if there is a conservation easement, it
Yeah.
shows.
right.
The restriction, I mean, for this case, I mean.
You don't wanna talk about that, just
Yeah.
a general, this is like the third time I remember going through this.
Does the wetland permit stay basically in the wetlands office unless somebody requests it? It does not go into planning and into the final building department?
No. What happened, I mean, if people come to the office and ask for something
Oh,
and they,
understood.
they.
No,
yes.
but when somebody, asks, I don't, it doesn't make no difference who they're asking in that office. Is that, they pull out a file and it's Craig Palmer's, that map stuffed in that file?
Yeah,
Or under 2 Bryant Road or
yes,
whatever?
they're all
the hell it
there, yes, we keep the file.
Did they, in that case, did they get the map from you?
No,
See,
I wasn't in the
different
office.
No,
maps Are different, different maps have different
It
things
depends
on
on
them.
what you ask for. Somebody came to the office and
Yeah.
said, we want a copy of our property to show the
I-
property lines.
Right, I know.
We
Let me
always.
bring it
yes.
back out on a broader level, all right? Somebody goes to have a closing on a house.
Yeah,
They're a layman, they don't know anything about
Right.
the wetlands.
Exactly.
They go and do some work out there, and then their neighbor notices and calls us.
right.
So how, you wanna know how to prevent that? How do we prevent it?
I
Maybe
honestly don't
We
know.
go
Yeah.
through the land record sales every week, Musa or staff or whatever, and go through and say, oh, wait, we remember this one had wetlands on it, this one had, and then send them a letter. It says, by the way, you property
I
that you
don't know
just
this.
bought has wetlands.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to explain to you,
Yeah.
this is the only way that you could, or come
Yeah.
up with some other way to notify people. Otherwise, will continue to go on forever.
It's kind of
Yeah, it's
difficult to
very
enforce.
No,
to be
I just
honest,
didn't know when
yes.
you went in, is it on the deed? When you go to, I don't know.
No,
The information, no, that
No.
one
No,
is
it's not on
usually the, I don't know, Paul would know.
I don't
Somebody
know.
No,
should
I
have-
researched that lot. There was nothing in the
There is
deed
nothing,
about that area being
Yep.
restricted or wetlands, yeah.
There's
No,
another
not even,
suggestion, maybe we come up with some way that if there's a wetland delineation on the map, then they have to put it in the deed or something. So that they
I
can
just,
reference
you
the
know,
map.
Simply,
no, if you want to adopt,
part of
if
the
you want to
building permit.
adopt a policy, like from now
Yes.
on,
When they
Well,
go
you're
to
gonna
the
bylaws.
office
Goes to
and
the
they
building
ask for the
department,
map of
whether
the
there's a-
property,
whether there's
give
a
them the
good
whole
conservation
packet.
adjustment or not,
yeah, they have.
and it just goes into the
No,
file of the building
because
department.
here's what happened, let's say Musa gave them the as-built.
yeah,
Yes.
yes.
And the as-built would show the wetlands, but they don't understand what the dash line.
What that line
box
means.
is. They don't understand what it is unless they ask further.
But the builder will.
You should.
In their eyes, it just looks like he said, it just looks like a grown-in field.
No.
Well, I'd like that, yeah, I get it. The bylaw committee researched that on some, I mean, I'm just saying, it's the third time I know about. Whether
This
it's
is something
true
that's
or
gonna
not,
happen.
I just, you
Think of all
know,
the
are we
times
wasting
we
our
don't know
time?
about it.
Oh, I know. It just bothers me that, you know.
No, the first,
Yeah, I know.
I've been chasing him for 5 years.
correct, the
Nothing's
first time,
happened. These people came to the meeting.
I know. Yeah.
correct, and
I'm not trying to, I'm Joshua Town.
Jericho, I'm sorry, you know what you're talking about.
and defense of the officer staff, I want to be.
I didn't want to,
No,
I didn't go there.
No, generally, I mean, the first gentleman, from the 3 cases that you are mentioning all the
Yeah.
time, one was, I want to be clear, he was lying. He said, I came to the office and Roseanne told me that there is no wetlands on your property.
No,
And
that
Roseanne just started her
Carol, I
job.
think. It wasn't
She
you.
had no clue what that
You were out to
is.
lunch.
Yes. And if people, they always
know.
want to blame somebody else. Let it put it that way.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I agree with George, some homeowners, they have no clue what they have, yes. They fell in love with the house, they buy it, later on they find out what is going on there. But if you want to adopt a policy,
Yes.
just be clear, just tell me that from now on, if you want to, something like this, then I have to check with the town attorney to see, can we just put these things on people's deeds?
Maybe we should just ask some other towns if they
Yeah.
have some.
Can you research that?
There is-
You can't put shit on deeds.
George, no matter what you do, if somebody wants to do something,
I
they
know,
do
but-
it, and then we find out, we go after them.
I know, but at least we're making an attempt to do something.
Yes.
If it stops it or not, at least, to me, I'd feel better that we did something. Whether, you know, who's telling the truth, I don't know that, and it doesn't really.
And if you look at the standard condition, that is always there in the plan. They know that. I mean, it is already there that this is what we approve. Any other activity, it will be on violation of your permit. But unfortunately, somebody gets the permit, somebody buys the house, they don't know about the conditions of approval. It's
But the simple thing is, you follow it right through to the building permit, wherever it goes. It goes
Yeah.
from us, it goes right to the next stage, and it gets the building permit, and then
Yeah.
when you do issue that, it has to be there. And then it just make the checklist saying, hey, listen, part of it is you're gonna get the building permit, you're gonna get the conservation. Are there restrictions or not?
Yeah.
It's easy.
But I mean,
But what
should
if
you,
somebody just does it on their own without coming to the building department, without coming to me? Yes, they
right,
do
but
it.
should you have a form in the office when they come in and Roseanne's there and they ask her about whatever? Should you have a form signed that you're signing, you're not giving them that info, so you're not this about,
The CYA, you should.
right? You should have a form, I don't know.
Because like, they're saying, you know, I came in, I said, oh, I saw a short girl with black hair. She
Yeah.
told me there was nothing there. So again, nobody can verify that.
Why wouldn't you have a form there saying
no
they
recordings.
requested?
That's a
it?
good point. That's a good point.
And then it's signed off by you or Mark.
Yeah.
Can
If
we
they-
put,
Build.
can we asterisk certain applications during approval to say like,
It's easy, you could do
this
something.
property is recommended for additional information from the wetlands
Right.
enforcement
I don't think it's
officer?
a difficult thing to do. It's just a matter of how.
That way, so when they buy the house, maybe it's on the
Where are you
deed.
putting that?
I don't
You
know.
can't just put shit on deeds.
The problem is that when they,
I don't know
I think you
when
just
they
follow
buy
it
the
right to
house,
building.
most
On
people,
the
they don't
as-built.
call us. Some people, they're smart. They call the office and say, hey, is there any violation on this property?
Yeah.
Is there any wetlands on this property?
Well,
Some
that's-
people, they do their homework.
Right, but
Some
those aren't
people, they
individual,
don't.
those aren't individual homeowners calling you probably.
No,
It's
that's
people.
okay for perhaps new construction going forward, but what about existing houses that
Yeah.
have wetlands on them?
Yeah.
that
Oh, we get
hasn't
calls-
been
I get
recorded
calls
on the
every
map?
day.
That
And
happens.
the neighbor calls to complain, hey,
Yeah.
it looks like wetlands are filling in over there.
That
Lisa
happens.
drives out to take a look, and we're in the same position we
Yeah.
are now.
Exactly, that happens all the time.
Right.
See what research you can do, Musa.
Okay.
And maybe through Mark, I don't know how you do it,
Okay.
or whatever. Can you ask through our,
Town attorney,
It'll take
no,
time, but.
through the state, you know, when we went to
DEP,
in the state,
yeah, DEP,
yes.
okay. Yeah, obviously,
When
that
we
if
went
there
to
is
that
any
seminar.
way that we can avoid this, but it is one of these
It's just
impossible
trying.
things.
It'll-
Eventually, title searchers will be asking these questions, because people like that are gonna get upset.
Yeah,
And we get calls all the time with the tanks were removed, are
Yeah.
there violations,
Right.
are there code violations on the
Yeah.
properties? Are all this, and they're getting wiser and wiser and wiser in what they're asking.
yeah,
That They don't do it. It's,
because they're on the
you
hook
know,
too, right?
They're on the hook too.
And unfortunately,
So
most of the time, these things
People are
happen
gonna
during the
start
weekend.
having a repercussion, saying, why
Yeah.
didn't you find this?
Yeah.
And so the title searchers will start
Yeah.
finding this.
All right. Report from bylaws review subcommittee.
We have not gotten the
dates together. We tried the last time, between the last meeting and this meeting, everybody's on vacation. I sent the email out, and I'll just update I can meet more or less whenever between now and then. So I did send it to Moose's office, and so maybe we can coordinate through there. We can use that as a central base, everybody can tie in whatever they have available.
As I wrote back,
Right,
I am
he's-
available
he's
during the
responding.
week hours, my work hours.
I can do during the day, night.
And then
doesn't
even
matter.
after hours, if you let me know,
Yep.
then I will be available to help you guys.
Yep, so we just gotta nail it down, because, Kira was out this week, he's on vacation.
And even you can use the conference room in my office.
Perfect.
It's available there. You want to table these two items?
Yes.
Yes.
And reports from staff, application 2021-21 of David Catrano Jr. for installation of a above-ground pool and hot tub within Upland Review Area 259 Nova Scotia Hill, Watertown.
Yes, I approve this
Yeah, I
application.
saw
It
in
was
the
a
paper,
minor
yeah.
activity with an Upland review area.
Anybody from the public? No. Adjournment at 8:18.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.